clenched my fists, wanting to pound them into something to slam them into the bed or into my thighs. It took an immense amount of strength to curb the urge. I'm going to kill him. I almost growled the words, the depth of both my emotional and physical pain impossible to bear. You know you are not doing any such thing. Sigrun gripped my shoulder, her voice low and comforting, yet firm. Stephen Lee experimented on you, for reasons we cannot yet fully understand. I glared at her, anger suddenly flooding my veins. You think I want to understand? I don't particularly care to understand his twisted reasoning. I want my bloody wings back. I was being unreasonable, but I didn't care. You know we cannot put them back, Bryn, Sigrun spoke, trying to keep her voice reasonable. I could tell. My awareness seemed split in two. A part of me could hear and feel the sorrow and pain my Valkyrie friend experienced, but I didn't want pity. I needed action. Now. Are my wings here? Did you find them? I slid off the bed, hardly caring when the jarring action of my feet hitting the floor produced agonizing, splintering pain in what was left of my wings. Bryn? Amy touched my other shoulder, her eyes filled with worry and sadness. We found them, but do you really think it's necessary right now? Maybe you should get some rest first. You can go when you're feeling a little stronger. I hated that my friends were barely able to look me in the eye. I want to see my wings. I stood tall and straight and I glared at Sigrun. I got away with my act, holding back waves of pure agony. The drugs they'd pumped into me had begun to wear off while we'd listened to Loki's confession, but the painkillers seemed to work stronger on my wings as only now did the agony begin to spread through them. It spiked, as if someone had taken a handsaw to my back. From the condition of the remaining bones, it seemed that was pretty much what they'd done. Hesitation played across Sigrun's face, and I saw the glances exchanged between the two girls. If you don't take me, I'll find my own way there. Very well then, but be prepared. It is not a pretty sight, Sigrun replied, steeling her features, hiding her emotions. She slipped an arm around my waist and helped me out of the room and down the passage. The sterile white walls and floors seemed to close in on me. Invisible fingers gripped my lungs, squeezing, expelling every last breath, suffocating me slowly. When Sigrun tightened her grip, I realized I'd begun to slip, my body demanding release from the pain, my knees strangely disconnected from the rest of my body. Catching myself, I concentrated on walking, putting more of my energy into each step forward. Amy walked beside me, mournfully silent. I appreciated her empathy, but how could she really understand? It felt like a limb had been removed. I no longer felt whole. I frowned. I hadn't even had wings until a few months ago, yet they had become so much a part of who I was. I stared at the floor tiles, counting each one as I walked over them. The more I counted, the closer I'd get to the lab. 4, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11. Sigrun slowed, interrupting my concentrated counting, and guided me into another room. 2 Einherjar worked in the lab, the light golden glow of their skin confirming them as Odin's warriors. 1 warrior bent over a plastic bag, labeling it with a black felt marker. The other stood beside a gurney, staring through a microscope. My heart clenched. Jasper, could we have a moment in private, please? Asked Sigrun. The warrior at the gurney glanced up. Mild curiosity mixed with annoyance at the disturbance transformed into pained shock and worry as his gaze flitted to me. He looked back at Sigrun. Valkyrie Sigrun, I do not think this is wise, he protested, his face wrinkled with concern, hand still gripping the microscope. Jasper, please, Brynhildr has every right to see them. Sigrun met my eyes and nodded, then turned to the warrior. Will you leave us, please? Jasper let go of the microscope, which danced on its extendable arm, and stepped away from the metal bed.